Hello, my name is Mateo Vasquez, and today I'll be taking you through the wonderful world of IT. Today's topic is...
My last video on this chapter is on digital preservation, which we begin now. Digital preservation is, it's the preservation of things by creating digital copies or codes of the object to be preserved. Taking something and digitizing it in an analog thing so that it can be later viewed by people who don't know about it. It involves, anything that you could digitally preserve. So actually with this, with the proper software and just the amount of time you need, it can preserve buildings, videos, audio files. Any backup copy you make is a digital preservation, but then anything you archive online is a digital preservation. And then taking analog things, such as taking a photo, is in a sense a digital preservation if it's a digital photo. Converting a VHS to a DVD is digital preservation. Anything like that makes digital preservation. So let's talk about the main types of digital preservation right now. The first one that is usually talked about is preserving movies and films over here. This is usually done through VHS to DVD converters, but it can be done with older types of films too. In fact, it allows for you to preserve eventually damageable materials. Old films are, based on their medium, have a compound inside them. It's a nitrate that will dissolve over time, ruining film quality and eventually resulting in the destruction of it. A lot of old TV shows are missing episodes because the film no longer exists. Digital preservation allows this stuff to be re-recorded and kept in DVD form, which lasts far longer, if not, actually forever, if you just take care of it correctly. The next major step in digital preservation is retouching and altering. This is from NASA. This is the NASA archives of the moon landing. This video had to be taken with the cameras on the actual shuttle. The primary one was damaged during the thing, so NASA retouched it into a restoration. Also, digital restorations here. You can clearly tell the difference between quality. And techniques like this can be done for all different types of older movies too. And digital restoration has created a definitive version of the movie Metropolis. And there's other videos like that too, where you find the original clips from all different places and eventually take them together and build it into its own professional finished design. It's very good at creating definitive definitions and preserving for posterity information like this. And then the final type of digital preservation that's really mentioned a lot is solid state modeling. Besides photos and movies and anything you would normally think of that you can do, digital preservation is good for archiving real things. This is a church, I think it's the Notre Dame church right there, looking at it. And that's created through a 3D CAD software. I've actually worked with a few different types of CAD software throughout my years in high school. And I can tell you that A, that is incredibly impressive that they've been able to do it, and B, that it really does work and you can create structures like that. Also, they probably used, I'm almost certain they used lasers to do that. You take laser measurements by reflecting, and it creates the 3D model giving you exact coordinates, completely preserving it in its original form. You can also use ground penetrating radar, all different stuff like that, and get the models of tons of buildings or just areas. Then you use stereolithography, which I've also used before over here, to create it. And basically there's mold, and you have the laser and the lenses focusing it into the XY thing, and you just cut. You do one of two things. Depending on the model, you either cut away, which is not stereolithography, or you build up using the liquid polymers that are located there that just rise up, and you just layer by layer. And the more layers you use, the more precise the model is and all that. And it just creates fantastic replicas of anything. On scale, of course, but the point is you can preserve it and recreate it. And that's what a lot of digital preservation is all based around. And in general, it's a very, very useful tool for this type of media. There's only one real thing besides actual preservation to talk about, and that's the issues regarding to it. The main issues with preservation, in fact, the one huge issue with preservation is the inability now to believe the reliability of anything. Before you could photo touch anything. Over here, this is probably the best example I can find. The other two are just interesting points about. But this is a picture of Joseph Stalin with, right here, this is a young man who was getting awarded for, I can't remember what the exact story is. He received an award and was able to basically be with Joseph Stalin for a bit. But then later, he becomes unwanted by the Soviet Party. And as you can clearly tell in this photo that was later released, and went back and altered the photo and airbrushed him out of it. And if you've ever read 1984, tons of ideas of what altering stuff like that can do. Yeah, you're changing the past. Well, with remastering, the huge idea of editing videos from original sources, such as right here, I've altered the scenes of the original trilogy, pray I do not alter them further. You've changed it, and now you can't really know what's necessarily true. You've rewritten the history, and if no one eventually remembers what the original was, you've changed it completely. There's huge implications of that. Just read almost any dystopian book or movie or film deals with the issue that if you can change history, you can, or the perspective of history, it changes everything. And the best example I could think of for that particular person right there, Lucas, is the Han shot first scene. Everyone debates, knows a little bit about it. The fact that there's one scene in the original movie, one of the protagonists clearly shoots an individual in cold blood. I mean, if you pressure about it, the whole thing. And the other one, he fires second. The point is the thing has been changed, and the reliability of source. I actually really didn't know about this until a little while ago, but the point is, that's the great point there. You've changed something from the remastering, and people don't remember it. I mean, sure, it can be minor things like that, or it can be major things like over here. The final type of issue with that is right here. I can make this guy say whatever historically inaccurate thing I want just by putting something by his picture, which can happen online and other things like that. Just altering is the main idea. In fact, that Apollo moon landing photo I showed you is a great excuse for the conspiracy theorists to believe that the moon landing never occurred, yada, 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 yada. So, yeah, I mean, remastering does have its issues, and preserving stuff is a great thing to do, but you have to make sure you're preserving it and not changing it. That's the whole point of preservation, is to make sure it remains as close to the original as possible, so that there's a record of it. If you want to edit or change something, you can do that, but you need to do it as an edit or a change, not as a preservation. So, yeah, that's the whole thing around here. Anyway, next. My references, same good idea as always, and I'm done here. Bye.
Well, that's all I've got to say for now. So, until next time, bye.